Hey everyone, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another video here on my YouTube channel. Today is Trinity Stamps Greatest Friend on Earth release, and we have a special video hop for you. I'll have all of that information linked down below in the description box, so you'll want to go check that out. But before we head there, let's take a look at the products I'm going to be using today. We have this darling Circus bear with the stamps and the dies. It is just so cute. We're also going to be using the Starstruck Stencil. Big fan of this one as well, and I thought about using the Embossed Edge Circle Stack die, but in the end I don't use it. I will have it linked down below just in case it's something you're interested in, but let's jump right into it. I have a piece of white cardstock that I have trimmed down to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I'm just going to tack that to the back of my Starstruck stencil. And then I have some ink on 3 inks all planned out. We're going to use some sweet Petunia pink. I'm blending that on with my blender buddies, and I'm just starting at the lower half, and it's such a bright, vibrant pink. Next, I'm going to move on to some Bee Sting Yellow by Ink on 3, and I am going to overlap those. These blend very, very nicely together, and they're such beautiful, rich colors. And then our final color that we're using today is the Trinity Teal. Another great color, and I'm going to overlap that one over the top of the Bee Sting Yellow, and we're going to get a really pretty green. So I will pull this away after I put away my blender buddies, and you're going to see this beautifully vibrant background. I love how those layer, and I love how just pretty this looks. So nice. So we'll clean up our mess, and then I'm going to attach it back to the stencil, overlapping those stars. I'm going to pull in some Moonstone Glimmer Paste. I want to really make those sparkle. Now my glimmer paste is just about dry. I've had this for a couple years, and I do take all the precautions to try and keep it from drying out. I haven't tried using any sort of distilled water in there. I just decided we were towards the end, and anyway, lesson here is use your stuff. If you get stuff like this, a wet product that could potentially dry out, just use it. That's my suggestion to you. I will probably try to use some distilled water on those in the future, but that is the way that it is. So I'm going to make sure that I'm really pressing that into that stencil, and then as soon as I am done with that, I'm going to take the stencil to my sink and just clean it out, because that stuff is already drying, and it'll just be like cement on there. So here we have it. I love how sparkly that is and how vibrant those colors still are. Our next step would be to do our stamping. So I'm going to pull out that Circus bear and also the little flag that goes with it. And we'll put that into our MISTI, and I'm going to stamp that onto some Express It cardstock using some Ink on 3 blackout ink. It's a great ink for Copic coloring, also good for watercolor, but I'm going to Copic color today. And that Express It and the blackout are a great combination. All right, I've decided I'm going to color this little bear to be a black bear. This is the second time I'm coloring this image up, and obviously there's plenty of options, but I've decided black bear today. And so I'm starting with some W4, and then I'm going to bring in some W6 and just add a little bit of shadowing and shading where I think it might look good. And then when I'm happy with that, I'll bring in that W4 again and just blend that a little bit. I don't want it to go all the way out or blend completely out, but just enough. Next, we'll color that wheel. We're going to bring in that W6 again, and then we'll do some shading and shadowing with the W8. But I don't know if you've seen the rest of the release yet. There are a lot of circus themed images, which is fantastic. So this little bear is darling completely on her own, or you could add her to some circus scenes using some of the other images that we have in the release, which is fabulous. I love that. But right now I'm going to use her just completely by herself. She's so cute in her little tutu, and with her little poodle and this giant bicycle, which is so cute with the big wheel. I'm using some yellows. We've got Y35, and then our darker color is Y17. Just add a little bit of something. And I'm trying to match the colors with the backgrounds that I brought in. And so we'll bring in some W1 for our poodle. I decided to make this a little white poodle. We've got some BG45 for her little dress and tutu. And then we'll bring in some BG07. It's interesting how BG45 would be lighter than BG07, but as I've said before, Copics work on their numbers, and the numbers each mean something different. So that 4 and that 5 mean something different, just like the 0 and the 7 do. All right, now we're bringing in some RV21 and RV14, and we'll do that same color for the flag. Just bringing in a little bit more of that darker color and then blending that out just a little bit. And then when we're done with that, we'll bring in our matching dies. I love that this matching die for our bear cuts out the spokes as well. And I do want to apologize. A lot of this gets lost because I didn't zoom my camera out, but it's pretty self-explanatory, and we will share as we go along. So I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. I'll get all those die cut out. I put some foam tape on the back of our bear, and I popped that up on that background that we had. I did trim the background down to 4 inches by 5¼ inches, and so it'll be a little bit smaller than an A2 size card. Our card base will be the A2 size, and all of our sentiments were stamped and embossed on some black cardstock and then cut out using our matching dies. We're going to stamp our bear on the inside using some of that Sweet Petunia pink, and then we'll take that last sentiment and glue that right over the top of our bear. I love doing that. I just think it's fun to add a little something something to the inside. So the outside says, "Life is a better ride with you by my side." And then we have our cute little sentiment on the inside as well. I'll glue down our card panel to our card base, leaving a little bit of a white border. And then that's going to finish off this fun card. So like I said, this is a part of a video hop. I'll have all the information linked down below in the description box, so be sure to head there so that you can head to our next video. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.